Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you really quickly in a video something that's kind of ridiculous. So the Deinosuchus just got released. This is a perfect wild tamed Deinosuchus, right? They have insane melee on all of them, and yeah, so there's that. Just for those of you that are like, that's not real, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another one in real quick just so you can see, and then there's the melee on it. They have insane melee. Now, something that's kind of cool about these things is they are massive. Obviously, they do a ridiculous amount of base damage. You can see that that was 132 just base damage right there, and they have a gigabyte that deals a significant chunk more than that. Now, if you wanted to level these things, you could put a ton of points into melee, but they have one really neat function is because they can destroy bosses. When they were a mod, I was wondering if they were going to keep this or not, but they can actually melt bosses. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in this guy right here. This is a Gamma Megapithecus, and just to show you, right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him right now. Okay, really, you're going to go over there. So 12,000 damage. Look how much that chunk just off one hit, right? This thing can basically, now obviously it's going to take it, and I am in GCM, so I'm not taking damage right now, but the amount of damage they do, because they do increase damage to bosses, is absolutely bonkers. And because they can actually deal this gigabyte every few seconds and will naturally do a gigabyte, they can chunk away a boss. This is just showing you how long it takes to defeat one of these guys by myself. Now obviously I'm going to be taking damage, so you're probably going to need more than one, duh, but especially if you're in a solo player game, this is solo player settings, by the way, so it's not official. That's why it's a little bit easier. So on official, it's going to have about 2 to 3 times as much health. But you can see that if I have 3 of these, 3 Deinosuchus, it would be the same thing as just playing this guy solo right now. So I'm at half health, and I've been doing this for less than a minute, right? So you can do a stupid amount of damage. Now, this is completely unleveled too. So let's say you get a good saddle, so you're not actually going to take any damage or have to worry about that, and you've got like 15 of these guys. You can absolutely shred bosses. It's kind of wild, and they will naturally do their gigabyte, which is really cool. And yeah, it's kind of, I wouldn't say broken, but it's definitely something that I like a lot. Something that's kind of like a glass cannon kind of build. It's very similar to when the Deinosuchus first came out, because they could just bleed through and destroy bosses. These things will just obliterate a boss. So obviously, as you can see here, they do that increased damage, and then you just charge up that gigabyte every few seconds, and it does that 23k. Now this is base attack. So if I was to just crank, let's say, some points into health, right? Let's just say I crank that much in there, right? So let's go ahead and start doing bites. Now we're doing 5,000 a bite, and we're just chunking away. So these things have an insane amount of damage. And then if you're able to land a gigabyte, I promise you this thing's going to kill him. There's 41k. So that is a 1v1 Deinosuchus against a Megapithecus, and just so you know, that thing had around 250,000 health when they spawn in solo player. So yeah, these things absolutely shred, and you'll see that they'll naturally do that. See that doing the charge attack right there? Yeah, they do that automatically, which is super cool. So you can shred bosses with these things. So hopefully this video helps you out, just to show you that a 1v1 with a Deinosuchus, especially on solo player, is doable, especially if you've got a good one. But yeah, kind of crazy. So hopefully you like it. If you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for that algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, Teach. Wow.